What's going on, guys? It's Fight Season MMA, and today I want to make a video talking about why I believe Khalil Rountree Jr. versus Alex Pereira is going to be an incredible fight. I want to go over 3 reasons on why I believe this fight will be absolutely amazing. We all know that Alex Pereira was supposed to fight Magomed Ankalaev, but in turn, the UFC turned to Khalil Rountree Jr. to take on Alex Pereira in the main event of UFC 307. Since then, Alex Pereira has come out saying that Magomed Ankalaev was scared to fight him, and we can get into that into another video. But I want to go over why I think Alex Pereira versus Khalil Rountree Jr. is going to be a better fight than Alex Pereira versus Magomed Ankalaev, on why if this has a potential to be an incredibly fun fight for however long it lasts. If you guys enjoy the UFC content, please leave a like, comment, subscribe. That is the best way to help support the channel. And while you're down there, please go absolutely destroy the post notifications button, just so you guys are always stayed up to tune with the latest UFC content and news. But let's jump right into the video on 3 reasons on why I believe Khalil Rountree Jr. versus Alex Pereira will be an amazing fight and better than making Alex Pereira versus Magomed Ankalaev. First reason is this is going to be an incredible stylistic matchup for the fans. We all know that Khalil Rountree Jr. has very heavy hands. He swings for the fences, is incredibly fast, and is incredibly powerful. And you put that up against with someone like Alex Pereira, that means one individual is getting knocked out. You look at him, Alex versus Israel Adesanya. Adesanya doesn't have that type of power, and Adesanya could land on him. Now, Khalil Rountree Jr. is a little bit smaller, but he is going to have a lot more power than someone like Israel Adesanya, and he could have that speed of someone like Izzy. Now, he's not going to have the same game plans. He's not going to have the same, kickboxing background, but Khalil Rountree Jr. is an incredible fighter, and not a lot of people know who he is, but he's on a 5-fight win streak with 4 of those fights coming by knockout. And truly, Khalil Rountree Jr. has the power, the mental strength, the mental fortitude to go in there and knock someone like Alex Pereira out. And I think for however long this fight lasts, it's going to be a very entertaining fight for the fans. You're going to see leg kicks being thrown at Khalil. You're going to see punches being swung upon on Alex. You're going to see Alex with the counters. That left hook is going to be coming in from nowhere. It is going to be a fight that's going to be full of back and forth movements, of just absolutely haymakers being thrown. The next reason is Khalil Rountree is willing to take chances in there. He's not going to automatically shoot for the legs. And I know I kind of talked about this with the stylistic matchup, but a lot of these guys in that light heavyweight division are willing. The only reason that they lose to Pereira is because they make a mistake. And Khalil Rountree Jr. 100% is one of those guys who can not only make mistakes, but he can exploit them too. He fought Anthony Smith at a UFC event last year, and he was exploiting on every single mistake Smith made. And it was an incredible sight to watch because Rountree is an incredible fighter. Like I've said, Rountree is a fighter that not a lot of people understand, not a lot of people know, but for his size, his just sheer bowling ball stature, to go up against someone like Alex Pereira, to be able to take chances, is going to be the only way he's going to win. He's going to be a lot smaller than Pereira, so him going in there to be able to swing and take strikes is going to be something amazing, but he's also going to have to take chances in order to win a shot. That's how the game goes, especially when you're looking at someone who's going to be a lot smaller. He's going to have to take that distance gap and be able to penetrate it with those body jabs, which are going to be coming his direction, and those leg kicks coming in his direction, which is going to fill the void, as Demetrius Johnson would say. The space in between Rountree and Pereira is going to be filled with different combinations. It's going to be an absolute artwork masterpiece for MMA fans to be able to see that right there. But the aggressiveness and the ability to take chances from both fighters, Rountree is going to be able to go in there, and he's going to be able to exploit mistakes that Pereira has a tiny bit, but he's going to have to set him up a little bit. He's going to have to get Pereira over aggressive and overextend on a shot to truly allow him to make a mistake that's so big. Pereira is so technically sound in the kickboxing department where he doesn't go out and make mistakes on purpose. You got to lure him into specific mistakes. Now, Rountree, on the other hand of this fight, is going to have to make mistakes on purpose to win. He's going to gamble a little bit on himself to really go in there to set up Pereira, to put him in a position that's uncomfortable, to then make Pereira uncomfortable in that position, overextend, and then knock him out. I think that style of both fighters being able to take risks is going to ultimately enhance the first thing that I was going to say of the stylistic striking, but also just make it so much fun to see fighters do stuff that they're not usually used to doing. Khalil usually kind of sits back. Khalil usually understands when to take risks or not, and I think in this fight he's going to understand pretty quickly that he's going to either need to get a knockout or he's going to get knocked out pretty quickly. The third reason is a lot smaller of a reason. Both of these fighters are super funny on stage. Roundtree is a great dude. Someone like Magomed Ankalaev doesn't speak a lot of English. We all know he was a sore loser when he fought Jan Blachowicz, and he said that he was robbed and that he should have won that fight and whatnot. But Khalil Rountree Jr. is 100% an upstanding guy, as long as Alex Pereira being one of the fan favorites inside the UFC division. I truly think that this is going to be one of the best press conferences, just having an interaction between them two. They should be really cordial with one another, so it shouldn't be anything but just, fun, lighthearted banter to then go into an action-packed fight later that weekend. Ultimately, this fight with Khalil Rountree Jr. and Alex Pereira has more layers to it than a bunch of these other fights. And I'm not talking about layers in MMA, I'm talking about layers in striking. You can 100% bet that no takedown will be shot in this fight. I can 100% bet it because Khalil Rountree Jr. is a Muay Thai fighter, where Alex Pereira is a kickboxing fighter. So we're going to go in there and see these two absolutely scram offers one another, being a Muay Thai versus kickboxing bout, where Alex Pereira is going to go in there and probably show that there's levels to this game. I can 100% see Khalil Rountree doing a lot of damage. I can 100% see him being able to go and evade the strikes from Pereira, but you can only do it for so long. And one of those heat-seeking missile left hands is going to go in there and absolutely destroy Khalil Rountree Jr., which is going to be a very horrible sight to see. But Rountree is such an amazing fighter. He's super exciting, and I think he's going to be one of the hardest stylistic matchups for Pereira on the feet because of how he can keep that shell. He's a big, bulky dude. He's got a lot of muscle. He's going to be able to guard up a lot compared to someone like Jamal Hill or Yuri Prochazka. Yuri Prochazka is a big string bean compared to Khalil Rountree Jr. If Khalil Rountree Jr. could probably make 185 if he wasn't covered in all that muscle, because truly, he's an absolute ripped 205er, and I don't even know how he makes 205 being that big. He looks like he has the body of a welterweight who just put on so much muscle that he can't even move. So Khalil Rountree Jr. is one of the scariest fighters in the UFC, and put that with Alex Pereira, that's only going to make one of the most entertaining fights the UFC has ever seen, and truly, it's going to allow for both of these fighters to shine, be a Muay Thai bout that Khalil Rountree will shine in, and he ultimately probably get the knockout, or Alex Pereira winning a kickboxing war, which he will do in a very light heart, in a heartbeat, because of how good he is as a kickboxer. Like I said, this fight has so many different layers to it in the striking department. Rountree and Pereira 100% will deliver, and I think ultimately the reason Dana White made this fight is because he understood that someone like Magomed Ankalaev is probably going to have to shoot on Pereira to win. He will get absolutely annihilated on the feet if he fights Pereira. It will not be in a contest. You look at how fast Jamal Hill got knocked out. Take that time, divide that by 2, and then put that towards Magomed Ankalaev's name, because that's how fast Magomed will get knocked out if he tries to strike with Pereira. But Rountree, on the other hand, I think Rountree is a very defensively responsible fighter. I think he has a lot of power in his hands, and I think he's been in the a lot more comfortable in that stand-up to where he can be able to withstand a shot from Pereira. And that's ultimately why I think that Rountree is going to be a harder opponent for Pereira, but still an opponent who is going to fall to the left hook of Alex Poatan Pereira. Thank you guys so much for watching this episode of Fights is MMA, and please let me know what you think down below in the comment section, what you think about Alex Pereira versus Khalil Rountree Jr., and if this is as amazing as the fight as I'm making it seem. I am 100% so hyped for this fight. I love watching Khalil Rountree Jr. fight. He is one of my favorite fighters in there, with how he swings his arms and just absolutely goes in there to maul individuals. And then you got Alex Pereira, one of the most technically beautiful, gifted and mixed martial artists I've ever seen. His kickboxing is a thing of beauty, and if you love watching MMA, and if you love watching kickboxing, Alex Pereira should be your favorite fighter because of how just chronically gifted he is in every single facet, and of how he can just go in there and win fights with one punch. Thank you guys so much for watching this episode of Fights is MMA, and please leave a like, comment, and subscribe. Subscribing is the best way to help support the channel. We're on the road to 1,000 subscribers, and we're almost there. So please go down there and hit the subscribe button. And while you're down there, turn on the post notifications just so you guys are always updated with the most recent UFC content. Thank you guys so much for watching this episode of Fights is MMA, and I will catch you guys very soon with more UFC content and news.